Everything gonna be all right. Just
I hope so.
well, you stay focused and stay out of trouble, and everything will be all right.
Trouble come find me. Too.
Devon Hurst wasn't a name fans shouted or saw in bold headlines. But behind every successful show, there he was, quietly making things work. You wouldn't find his name on posters or hear the crowd cheering for him. He didn't look for attention. He never asked for applause. But everyone who worked behind the scenes knew the truth. Devon was the heartbeat of Big Freedia's crew. For years, Devon had been a key part of Big Freedia's touring team. He wasn't just another guy helping out on the road, he was family. He showed up early, stayed late, and handled problems before anyone else even noticed them. While others focused on what was happening on stage, Devon made sure everything off stage ran smoothly. His job title didn't matter because it changed all the time. One day he might be handling travel plans. Another day he could be dealing with last-minute technical issues or checking to make sure everyone had food and rest. He did it all, not because he had to, but because he cared.
Devon responsibilities is going to be Devon responsibilities. Devon can't handle Freedia responsibilities. But maybe this is the time that you do need to just be free.
Devon was the calm in the middle of chaos. When everyone else was rushing around, he stayed grounded. If something went wrong, he didn't panic. He just fixed it. His teammates described him as kind, steady, and always ready with a quiet joke to lighten the mood. He didn't make a lot of noise, but you could feel his presence. If someone missed their flight, Devon figured out a solution. If a piece of equipment disappeared, he tracked it down. And if someone was feeling off, Devon noticed. He didn't try to fix people. He listened. He showed up for people in ways that really mattered. Even Big Freedia leaned on him more than most people knew. In interviews, she often talked about how important her team was. But those close to her knew Devon was right at the center of it all. He wasn't on stage, but he was there for every rehearsal.
Hey, babe. I'm happy you home. What's gonna happen with you coming on tour?
I can't make it until I go to court.
This is my first big tour. I want you to be a part of this and experience it with.
Every show and every city. That one day on tour started just like so many others. The team arrived at the venue, unloaded the gear, and began preparing for the show. Freedia warmed up. Her voice, the crew shared jokes backstage, and Devon, as always, was everywhere at once. He laughed with the team, double-checked cables, and made sure everything was ready to go. People remembered him joking that it finally felt like an easy day. Everything was working. Everyone was in sync. The crew was relaxed. There were no signs that anything was wrong. Then suddenly, everything changed. It wasn't dramatic at first. Devon mentioned he wasn't feeling well and stepped away to take a break. But just a few minutes later, he collapsed. It happened so fast.
When you come to a Freedia show, you feel loved, you feel open to be who you are and to express yourself through dance music.
Paramedics were called immediately, but by the time they arrived, Devon had already gone into cardiac arrest. Backstage, the crew was stunned. Everyone was trying to keep the show moving, trying to hold it together. But the news came quickly. Devon didn't make it. Just moments after that, Big Freedia stepped on stage, because in the world of live performance, the show is expected to go on. But this time, it couldn't. Halfway through her performance, something changed. Freedia's energy dropped. Her voice cracked. She turned her back to the audience, overwhelmed by emotion. Then she dropped the microphone. At first, fans thought it might be part of the show, maybe a dramatic pause or a message. But then the silence stretched on too long. Crew members rushed on stage. The music stopped. Freedia stood there.
Freedia's love runs deep within me. Deep like the ocean, you hear me?
Tears running down her face. This wasn't acting. This was grief, raw and real, unfolding in front of everyone. In that moment, people in the room witnessed something rare. The unfiltered heartbreak of someone losing not just a team member, but a friend, a brother figure, right in the middle of doing what they both loved. News of Devon Hurst's sudden passing didn't stay behind the curtain. It spread quickly through Big Freedia's team, the New Orleans community, and fans across the country. Many people had met Devon without realizing how deeply he had shaped the show and supported those around him. Later that night, Big Freedia posted a video. She was still in her stage clothes, eyes red, wiping away tears. Her voice shook as she spoke. "You were more than staff. You were family. This one hurts. You held us together." The video wasn't edited or planned. It was real. That's why it went viral. People could feel her pain, her love, and the huge space Devon left behind. Other musicians and crew members began sharing their own memories. One posted a photo of Devon fixing a mic seconds before a concert. Another remembered how he calmly stepped in when security was being rough with a fan, handling the situation with quiet strength. Devon never looked for recognition, but in his absence, people realized just how much he meant to everyone. He may not have been in the spotlight, but he was the reason it could shine so brightly. And now, every show, every city, every backstage moment, there's a space that only Devon Hurst could fill. Everyone felt safe around Devon, and fans quickly started sharing photos, not just ones where he was in the spotlight, but casual pictures where he was in the background, quietly doing his job. You'd see him holding gear, opening a door, or just helping someone out. People began writing about the small things he did that made a big difference, like giving out water to folks who looked like they were overheating, or simply being a calm, steady presence when the crowd got too overwhelming. What touched people most wasn't some big flashy act. It was that Devon was always there, quietly looking out for others. He never needed recognition. He just showed up, every time. The love for him grew fast. Soon, a memorial wall appeared at one of the popular venues in New Orleans. It was filled with candles, handwritten letters, and photos. Some of the messages were deeply personal, like, "You helped me when no one was looking," or "The show won't feel the same without you." These weren't just words. They were proof that Devon had touched lives in ways most people never saw. Shortly after, Big Freedia made a powerful announcement. She would be holding a special memorial show, not just to grieve, but to celebrate Devon's life. They'd play his favorite songs, remember his best moments on tour, and honor the kind of person he was. Freedia made it clear, this wasn't just about mourning a loss. It was about recognizing how Devon lived, always giving, always present. Devon's story isn't about one moment. It's about a life full of quiet acts of care. Behind the flashing lights and loud music, he was the one making sure everything ran smoothly, without asking for praise. One woman with mobility issues shared how Devon helped her find a comfortable seat at a packed venue. She hadn't even asked. He just noticed she needed help. "He didn't treat me like a burden," she said. "He treated me like I belonged." Another story came from a young dancer auditioning for Freedia's tour. Her family couldn't afford the travel for a big performance. Devon found out and quietly paid for the hotel and transportation. Never told anyone, didn't post about it. He just did it because he cared. That was Devon. His kindness wasn't loud or for attention. He didn't do things to be noticed. It was just part of who he was. Someone who truly saw people and helped without expecting anything in return. That's why losing him hurt so deeply. People who saw him on his last day said he seemed like his usual self, smiling, joking, moving through his to-do list like always. There were no warning signs, no complaints. Then, suddenly, he was gone. Doctors later confirmed it was a sudden cardiac arrest. There was no clear cause and no known health issues. That made the shock even harder to process. How could someone so full of life just disappear? His death started some serious conversations, not just among fans, but across the music industry. Artists, dancers, stage crew, people began opening up about the toll constant touring takes. Many admitted they hadn't seen a doctor in years. They were always too busy. Devon's passing was a wake-up call. Looking fine on the outside doesn't mean everything's okay on the inside. From that pain, Big Freedia created something meaningful. She launched the Devon Initiative, a wellness program focused on the people working behind the scenes, the ones who carry the weight of every show, like Devon did. Now, every crew member gets free health checks, mental health support, and regular wellness check-ins. No red tape, no long forms. Just help, exactly the kind Devon would have offered if he saw someone struggling. And at every show, right before the music kicks in, There's now a brief moment of silence. It's a chance to pause, to breathe, and to honor Devon. Even if the audience doesn't know the full story, that quiet moment is for him. Devon didn't chase fame. He built real connections. He didn't speak loudly, but his actions spoke volumes. His love was steady. His presence brought peace. He didn't need attention to make a difference. He made an impact just by being himself. He reminds us all, you don't have to be center stage to shine. Sometimes, the people who leave the biggest mark are the ones who work quietly in the background, lifting others up. Devon's life was more than a memory. It's a reminder to show up for each other, even when no one's watching. Devon Hurst wasn't a name fans shouted or saw in bold headlines, but behind every successful show, there he was, quietly making things work. You wouldn't find his name on posters or hear the crowd cheering for him. He didn't look for attention. He never asked for applause. But everyone who worked behind the scenes knew the truth. Devon was the heartbeat of Big Freedia's crew. For years, Devon had been a key part of Big Freedia's touring team. He wasn't just another guy helping out on the road, he was family. He showed up early, stayed late, and handled problems before anyone else even noticed them.